Welcome to the Lead with Your Soul podcast. I'm Michelle Wright, your host and fellow traveler on this journey of self-discovery. This podcast is designed for women navigating life transitions and yearning to embrace their true selves. I'll be sharing my personal journey from navigating the complexities of divorce and blending families to reshaping my career to something that resonates with my soul. With 3 decades as a teacher and mentor, I'm here to share insights, heartfelt stories, and practical strategies. Together, we'll explore how to cultivate self-love and create the vibrant, fulfilling life you deserve. Join me each week as we dive deep into the art of living authentically. Welcome to the Lead with Your Soul podcast. I'm Michelle Wright, your host. And I am so happy to have you here. I am recording from Revelstoke, BC, in the beautiful Rocky Mountains. And do I have a story to tell you? Today, I'm going to just be talking about the challenges that come to us, calling in abundance, and holding the duality of those two pieces together and what that can mean for you as I share my story. So grab a cup of tea, a coffee, and just sit back, relax, or if you're driving, just continue to lean in and listen. So we're in our camper, and I'm going out to the Sacred Spirit Retreat in Maple Ridge with Danielle Sarank, the Squamish medium. I went last year as well, and it's a very powerful experience. So I was so excited. I'm so excited to go there. And we bought this camper last December and we brought it home. Didn't have an opportunity in Canada during the winter to really try it out. It's brand new, it's beautiful. And we bought it because we wanted to take our beautiful cat, Luna, and our wonderful chocolate lab, Jasper, with us as we're traveling. We've been able to go over the seas and do lots of trips that way. And it's just hard on our animals to be away from us for so long. So we thought, oh, wouldn't this be nice if we add this into our life so that we are going in different places with them? Beautiful idea. This trip out to Maple Ridge, Loon Lake for the Sacred Spirit Retreat is the perfect opportunity to get the camping going. Now you have to imagine, we have been thinking and dreaming about this and calling this into being for a couple of years now, selling the business and then moving into what are we going to do as we retire. And this was one of the dreams. So we start out last Tuesday. We are ready. We are on the road. And we have this beautiful truck that's going to take this beautiful camper. And we are not 2 hours from our home when all of a sudden we get a flashing light on the dash. And this flashing light says, service engine soon. Your transmission might soon not be able to make shifts. And we're like, what? Because it had kept on popping out of tow. So we stopped, reset it, and it kept on doing this. So we're like, okay, we have to stop because we don't know what this will mean. So we pulled into Bow River Campground just outside of Canmore. Stunning, stunning place to be. We're so glad we found it. It had beautiful running water. It had electrical hookups, and it's just amazing right along the Bow River. I just loved it. And what this meant for us, though, was as we started getting everything ready, we're like, oh, this is not good. But I digress, because even as we started this trip, our cat, now our dog travels all the time, but our cat, we had not prepared for this trip as well, because, you don't tend to take cats on car trips. So in that 2 hours, she was hyperventilating, peeing on my husband, and in serious distress. And even as we got into the camper, she was still very distressed. We have this beautiful catio for her. And we're just like, oh, you'll enjoy it being outside in nature. So the truck's gone. The cat's stressed. And then we hook up the water. And this beautiful new camper has a fault in the kitchen sink. So it is leaking all in the cupboard and down the camper. And we're like, no, yes, it is leaking. So we cannot use the water in the camper. We can use the other tank, but we can't use the water in the tank. And so my husband and I are just beside ourselves. We're just like, what does this mean? What's going on? How can this be happening to us? We are not at our best. We're frustrated. We're really anxious and just swirling around. And this is where the learning happens. And this is where you have to lean in. I was talking to my beautiful business coach, Christy Yill, with The Sacred Life. And we were discussing this. And she said the same thing happens with her whenever she is expanding her life and coming into that moment of abundance. It seems like this duality happens. And so you have the abundance growing, this capacity. On the other side, you also have the capacity of everything that can go wrong and being able to hold both, being able to navigate through and hold it in this new level, this new vibration. And that was hard. It was really, really hard at that moment. And even the next day. And we were so lucky. This is where you have to see as you lean in, as you trust, surrender. So we pull up to Canmore that night. We're able to get into the Canmore dealership and they check our truck. Sure enough, it is the transmission. And we're like, no way. So this means this trip is done. And we're looking at getting me flights. Now, flights out to Vancouver if you choose them, you can get good deals. But if you're trying to go in 4 days over a weekend, you have less of a chance of deals. So we're just getting upset and angry. And the thoughts that are coming through my head is, how can this be happening to me? Like, what have we done? And I recognize this is my old thinking. And I know it comes from growing up from a Christian background. It's this idea of sin and you did something wrong and here's the punishment. And it's just bad things are happening to you because you did bad things. And it's not that. It's not that at all. It's holding space for this, holding space for what was going on, holding space for the negativity. So we needed to calm down. We needed to relax. We needed to think. And recognizing, what, we might as well get this truck, go confirm what it is. And miraculously, in our dealership in Airdrie, which is only an hour away from where we were, we can get in for 9:30. And without pulling the camper, the truck is fine. And my husband goes there. Sure enough, we have to wait for a part. Good news, it is all under warranty. And they cover the cost of a rental until the part comes in. Another miraculous event. So then he has to look for a truck. And you can't pull a trailer on regular trucks that you get from different car rental shops. You have to actually go to a business rental company that is usually associated with it. So he went and did that. And there were only a couple of trucks left in all of Calgary that you could use to pull a trailer that were big enough and that we could put a hitch in. And we just couldn't believe it. So as much as things were going not well, as we stayed calm and didn't freak out, you have to know we did freak out at first, but then we calmed down and we went back into problem solving. We went back into trusting. We went back into surrendering and we're like, okay, no, this is going to work out. I get a sense in my soul that this is going to work out. And sure enough, he goes and we find out, no, we're not going to be able to rent it from the place that we think. And he's able to find another truck, which isn't that amazing? Within 24 hours, the problem is solved. We are able to get a hold of the company because we're going out to near Abbotsford, right near Vancouver. That's where we got our camper. and we're able to go to them. We have an appointment for Monday morning. They're going to look at the sink and make sure that everything is fixed and up to par. And that's also on warranty. So it just keeps on getting better and better. And this is my learning. This is my deeper understanding, is that we are living the life that we want. It has been incredible in Canmore as we've been here, as we've been relaxing and going around. And our little kitty absolutely is loving it. She just needed time to adjust. And so she loves the camper. She loves going outside and coming back in. And we've got a good communication going. And she loves being near us. And so does our dog. So this idea that we have with our beautiful pets and our life of exploring is starting out. But it's not going to be perfect. And our listening to our soul, listening to our intuition happens in the challenging times. That's when we have to really listen and go, okay, what is this about? What do we need to do next? And be in this calm, neutral state in order to listen to yourself to figure out how do we move forward. And my husband and I were able to do that. And it's difficult and it's challenging, but it is even 4 times better because we recognize what we need to be grateful for. We recognize having a working truck to be absolutely grateful for every time we get in this working truck. To have our beautiful animals, even though sometimes they can be a challenge, we are grateful that they're able to be with us. And we're able to be responsible animal parents and take care of them and not just always dishing them off to other family members, but looking at ways to incorporate them in our travel life. Doing this podcast, this is my dream. We have got Wi-Fi. We've got this set up. No matter where I go, I can work. I can do my work. I can do my coaching. I can do my podcasts. I can set this up. I can do the courses that I do. And it's happening. That first night, though, I had had enough. We were exhausted. And I'm just like, this is it. I don't know if this is going to work. I should mention I've always been a hotel camper. So this camping thing is new to me. And so it's like, I don't know if this is going to work. And my husband stayed so calm and was just in this place of, we're going to be able to do it. And then we needed to find a way to just continue to problem solve as we went through. When I think about my life in other situations where I've been, the exact same thing happens. You can't imagine what's going to go through because it is so difficult. It is so challenging at that time. And how do you move through it? How do you get to a place that you can actually surrender and trust? And leaning in to your own intuition is the key. A picture that's coming to my mind is the first time the boys went 2 weeks with their dad on holidays. So it's the first time as a mom I am away from them for that long. Usually maybe I might have been away from them for 2 nights or maybe even 3, but never 14. And I remember just crying, just laying on my living room floor with just the absolute pain and desolation of my boys not being there. And I could barely breathe. And I'm like, how am I going to live through this? How can I do this in my life? And that feeling of grace came in, and I just said a prayer, and I just said, I need help because I can't do this alone. There is no way this pain, this grief, I can handle it alone. God, universe, creator, I need your help. I need you to wrap your arms around me. I need you to hold me tight until I can get to a place that I can breathe. And the most beautiful peace came over me. Just a real calming peace. Did I still miss my kids? Yeah. Did I know that this was going to be a hard journey? Yeah. But I recognized that I wasn't doing it alone. I recognized that I had a whole spirit team with me that is integral to my moving forward, integral to my understanding and listening to my soul, and learning how to just surrender into their arms when I am past my humanness and don't know how to do it. And they catch me and they get the rest. I am not sure where you are on your journey. Are you in the middle of divorce? Are you having challenges with your kids? Are you transitioning your career, or your career is going so bad that you just don't know what to do next? What I invite you to do is to put your hand on your heart. And I invite you just to take deep breaths. And what you're doing as you do this is you're just calming your nervous system. I also invite you to get into your body, not your brain, not your thinking, not your swirling mind, but get into your body. Wiggle your toes. Imagining that you can feel your seat in your chair. And you're breathing and breathing deeply. And then I want you to imagine that surrounding you is your spirit team. You have the universe, spirit, God, creator, with your angels, your ancestors. And they're here because it's these challenges that allow us to connect to them, to connect to our soul, to connect to our purpose, and get a better understanding of how we can evolve and expand. And even though I didn't start this trip in the challenges going, oh, I'm curious, how can I expand? I move into it much sooner. Within an hour, I was moving from, oh my gosh, how can this be happening to me? And instead, I was moving into, help me understand. I need to hold space. I need you to be here with me because I don't know what's going on. And so the trust and surrender had to come in. And then there is the belief that miracles happen. And for me, each and every one of those events that happened, from getting into the dealership in Canmore and going and getting that next day into the dealership in Airdrie and getting a truck that can pull this camper, those are miracles. Those are absolute miracles. Meanwhile, this is all happening. My husband is able to do that, running around, getting that organized. And I'm sitting in Bow River Campground, looking at nature, walking my dog, going for a run, and experiencing the healing nature of the wilderness. So we have to be able to hold the capacity of where we're going. So sometimes we enter it into the negative, and it allows us to go into the positive. With my kids, that was the first experience being away from them. And for those two boys, as they got older, they needed to do 2 weeks, 2 weeks. As they were going through adolescence and their bodies were changing, they needed to be with their dad during that time. It It was an important part of their development and their understanding of who they were as males. And I was glad that I had had some experiences and I was able to support them in that. It was a beautiful part of their development, a beautiful part for their dad and I to find a way to co-parent. So those first 2 weeks laying on that floor, I didn't know what was coming. But I did know that I was held. I did know that I wasn't alone. And I did know that my boys were taken care of. So for you, with your hand on your heart, as you lean in to your difficulties, your duality, the expansion and the capacity to hold both, I invite you to settle in. I invite you to say prayer. I invite you to seek gratitude. I invite you to watch for the miracles unfolding in your life. I invite you to trust and surrender and listen to your soul. Until next time, keep leading with your soul.
That wraps up another episode of the Lead with Your Soul podcast. I'm so grateful you chose to spend this time with me. As you navigate your own life transitions, remember to be gentle with yourself and embrace the journey. If you found value in today's episode, please subscribe and share it with others who might benefit. Join me next week for more insights and inspiration. Until next time, keep leading with your soul.